I made a complete fool of myself when I blinked.
I made a complete fool of myself when I was younger. I threw up on stage by accident. I had the stomach flu, and I was like, you know, I can still do the show. It was on Broadway too. It was bad.
Fuck.
Straight like barfed on stage. Yeah, that was like bad. I should have just called out. You know?
What's going on, guys? Nyla, Symone here with another episode of We Need to Talk, and today I have a very special guest in the building. We got Leon Thomas here.
What up?
I'm excited, man. I'm a fan. I've been watching your career for a long time, and I'm super proud of you, actually.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, let's start with that. But I see life's been busy for you lately. You just hit the stage at Roots Picnic. How was that?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. That was actually my first festival, so it was like really cool to feel that environment. I mean, it's very fast paced, but to get out there and to get that much love in the city I'm not from, you know, it was amazing. Philly showed a lot of love, and they knew the lyrics, which was really cool. It's interesting when you're performing on a stage like that, you need to have in-ears in. So I couldn't hear if people were like actually singing along with me, but when I looked back at the footage, I saw it, like they were definitely tapped in.
They were into it, yeah. Damn, I did not know that was your first.
That was my first festival. Yeah.
Damn, that's a big deal.
There's like 2 festivals I was supposed to do before that, but they both got canceled for weather reasons. So I don't know. God had a plan. God had a plan.
2024 has been a very interesting year when it comes to shit like that. But
absolutely.
I think Roots is actually the perfect first festival for you, just because obviously the Roots, the live band, and just like the quality and cloth of music. I feel like aligns.
Absolutely, man. I'm a child of neo soul, so you know I was definitely a big fan of Jill Scott and Erykah Badu, and just like that whole Philly world that they built out there. So to be, you know, associated with it was nice. It was real cool.
Pretty fly. And then I saw you did the recipe for the change of the state of R&B.
Yeah.
That was a cute little content piece. I like to see R&B coming together. The older generation Tank with the newer generation. That was really cool. Talk to me about that.
It's amazing. First off, you know, Tank was hosting, so I knew it was gonna be popping. You know what I'm saying? That's like the OG right there, R&B. I actually sat down on his podcast as well and talked about R&B and the love of it and all that jazz. So having him there made me feel really comfortable. But I've also been working with Eric Bellinger since I was really young. So to just be there with my brother was dope.
So that was like family.
Yeah, but like a lot of the other artists I was meeting for the first time and you know, kicking it with. I knew Amber, but it was nice to just talk about R&B and hear everybody's perspective. I mean, it's tough, you know, being in this specific genre. Because we've had our ups and downs when it comes to like the amount of love and support that we get, you know, from the public. But it's really cool to see that people are finding a way to tour and sell music and build fans. So it was cool to hear.
Hell yeah. And everybody has their own different, like, come up and stories.
Oh, for sure.
But now that you guys have met, I definitely would love to see you and Kenyon collab. Like,
gotta
put that into the
I've been seeing bro around a lot, man.
Yeah.
We haven't ran into each other in the studio. That's usually how it happens organically.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to, like, you know, maybe just setting something up at some point.
Yo, that is going to be the baby please type of record. Like, I can see that. You guys going back and forth. That would be fun. But
yeah, Leather and Rain. You know what I'm saying? It's a Leather and Rain going on. Yeah.
I'm telling you, there's something to that. But 2 things that I thought was really interesting that I learned from that conversation that you had. One was your perspective on music business versus the art and like having to balance both, which I feel too as like a creative from a different perspective. Like that shit gets draining.
It does. And I mean, I think it's kind of tough, you know, trying to really wear both hats, but you have to. I feel like even being signed to a major label, which I'm very blessed to be, you know, signed to, you still have to run the ship and know exactly what you want and be goal oriented and say, all right, this is the number I want to hit. These are the people I want to talk to. In order to really gear your creativity to even make that a possibility, it can take a lot of work, and it's definitely a team sport. So you got to know how to run the team.
At what point did you learn, like, all right, let me switch it? Because you were saying I could easily just get lost in my art. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and there's times where I'm like, fuck it, I don't want to do shit for business. I just want to get lost in my art. So just talk to me about that balance.
I mean, honestly, I'm just watching people that I'm a really big fan of that are close to me. You know, being around Ty Dolla $ign, you know, I'm signed to his imprint, so I'm around him a lot. So I see how he's able to balance being lost in the music I mean, the guy doesn't go a day without creating something, but he also, spends time being outside, cultivating relationships with amazing artists, and really like mobilizing his creativity into places that'll really reach the masses. Because he's not like one of those guys that's like online every day in your face, but you hear about him consistently because he places his music in the right places. And I learned a lot from him with that, and I'm trying to use more of that process.
So there's really no stop to it.
It doesn't stop, but I think balance is the key, and that's something I'm really trying to get into a little bit more, like the idea of an off day, or the idea of even like a week vacation at some point this year. You know what I'm saying? Like things I never would think about in the past 6 years. You know what I'm saying? But like now it's things I'm trying to work in so that you don't get burnt out.
Yeah. No, I get that. Speaking of Ty Dolla $ign, I love the relationship and partnership that you guys have garnered. And I actually did not know you were signed to his imprint, but I was just gonna say my favorite joint off the last project was Love Jones with Ty Dolla $ign.
Appreciate that.
So it's like, that's cool. So talk to me about how you guys even like got together.
So about, I want to say 5 years ago, I started working on his project featuring Ty Dolla $ign, which was an album filled with amazing songs, and I was around a lot for that, and I started playing him some of my own music as an artist. And he was really like very supportive of that. And during the pandemic, I was like gearing up to do an independent release, and I went to do like a grocery store run because I had rented out this really nice studio house. And his partner Sean Barron, who he works on a lot of businesses with, randomly stopped me at a red light and was like, "Yo, what's up?" And I'm like, "Hey." So we're like in the middle of the street. There's nobody on the road, luckily, and we were just chopping it up in the cars. And I was like, "Yo, call me, man." Because I was looking for like an A&R to kind of help build my business around for my independent like label, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
He told me that him and Ty were doing an imprint called Easy Money, and they were running it through Motown, and it just felt like very serendipitous because I had just wrapped up my project and had everything set up. So
that is so random.
We just made it work, and it wasn't something planned. I just feel like God had a move for me,
Had to be. At a stoplight is crazy.
Stoplight is nuts. There's a million different times we could have been on that road. Yeah. Thinking about it, it's kind of nuts.
That had to be God.
Yeah.
So, okay, what I was going to say, because you said that this happened 5 years ago, so I just want to say, excuse my ignorance because Electric Dust is my introduction to you.
It's all good. It's all good.
Put that out there. But I know you've been at this for a long time, not just in music, but just in entertainment in general.
Absolutely,
But that being said, not only are you at it as an artist, you kind of got your fingerprints all over music right now, which is pretty fire, and I don't even think people are familiar with all the hits that you've been working on.
Right.
But Bryson's project, which, by the way, so glad Bryson is back in this bag. I feel like this is my favorite project since the first one.
Yeah, he killed it.
Yo, you producing on Bryson's? Talk to me about that.
Child was a really dope record. I was in Italy. I was working with Ty and Ye on their project Vultures 1.
Damn, not you
and
was
I was
in
just
Italy.
I was out there for 2.5 months.
The flex was crazy.
I'm gonna drop that because I was out there for 2.5 months, and I was supposed to be there for like 6 days. So I literally had like 6 outfits for 2.5 months.
Oh shit!
So I'm gonna flex that whenever I can because that was actually hell.
Laundry
but anyway,
right?
just laundry,
okay.
just like rotating 6 fits. But regardless. I was out there chilling, and Neil, his manager, hit me. He was like, "Listen, we're trying to finish up the album. If you got anything," and I just did that song right before I left to go out of the States, and it was a song I was originally like kind of putting together for another big artist. I won't say who, but I'm just glad that Bryson liked it and that he sounded so good on it. It just worked out.
What? Toxic as hell. He sounded toxic as hell on it. I like it, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I ain't right on that joint.
I was damn, that's how you feel?
I ain't right on that joint. I let them, get into their toxic bags sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I just produced on that joint, but shout out to everybody involved for real. It was a team sport on that one.
Well, I love that, man. And talk about just like the difference, or I guess balancing producing for others, because you said you had that in mind for somebody else, but like, how do you balance like what's for me and then what is for others? Or do you?
You gotta let music find its home. I do my best to just like consistently share ideas with my talented friends, and if they wanna mess with the idea, cool. If not, I don't know. I just use it for myself.
Were you always open to sharing? Because I feel like sometimes you can feel so attached to the things that you create, but it seems like you don't really
Well,
have that.
I feel like that's not operating from an abundance mindset.
Mm.
If you truly believe that you're going to continue to be blessed with creative ideas, like hoarding your ideas for a potential album that you don't know when it's coming out, it just seems like closed-minded. So for me, I'm like big on, sharing the music for people that I feel like can really tell that story to a massive audience. And I'm still connected to it. I still get all the wins and the accolades and the businesses, right? So, I think for me, my sound is so specific to me. I don't really have to worry too much about it being in competition with my own work.
Love that. Great answer.
Yeah.
So talk to me, because now I'm just curious. What was like your entry point into music?
It's a long story, but
Lord. We got
we're
time.
not gonna go that crazy.
We got
but
time.
like my grandfather was an opera singer. My mom was also a singer. And my stepdad, they had like a club date band together, him and my mom. So I grew up in all the New York clubs, like just essentially doing homework backstage while they were like performing.
That's fire.
So yeah. Growing up, I was just always around like amazing musicians that played with Shaka Khan and all these big like old school artists. So I was able to, I don't know, kind of like absorb like soul, funk, and R&B in a way that was really, really true to my roots. But from there, I kind of started working with Babyface like around 18 years old. He opened up his studio to me, and I really got heavily involved in producing and songwriting for other people as well as for myself.
Coming from such a deep and soulful background and then being in the climate of R&B, because you've been doing this for a while, and I feel like now we're getting to a point where like quality is starting to hit and peek through, but there's definitely times where like bullshit was flying and doing very successful. Is that, or couldn't that be discouraging, or like, because there was a time period, I guess for me, I'll just use myself as an example, where I was like, yo, I'm not really feeling none of this shit. And then it kind of made me feel like, well, why am I here?
Right.
Have you hit that? And when you did hit that, like, what was your, I guess, motivation to keep going?
I've been discouraged before, but I feel like once I discovered the blinders, and what I mean by blinders is just essentially being focused on myself and evolving myself and not really like comparing myself to others. I think that was like a negative attribute I had early in my career. So once I discovered how to like really just focus on the man in the mirror, like really like continue to evolve what I do personally, none of it bothers me. And honestly, I feel like any black man, any person who can find a way to like make money in music, kudos to you, do it. Even if it's not my cup of tea, like it's not easy to do. It's not easy to keep going. I know how exhausting it can be in a multitude of ways. So because I have empathy in that way, I'm not even tripping,
Yeah.
I think live music though is making a comeback, like with like artists like Cleo Soul and like, I don't know, there's like so many amazing artists doing really cool things that really inspire me. I don't know, I don't feel alone right now. I feel like, yeah, I'm a part of a new wave. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, no, we're excited for the new wave. It's very refreshing, and even seeing you live for the first time, I was like, damn, now this is different. Cause seeing something live makes you fall in love with the music even more.
That's
I don't
real.
know why,
Yeah.
but it definitely did that for me.
It's interesting doing shows like that though. It's like, when I come to New York, I usually I like the fact that it's like not like a LA audience, because the LA audiences, even when you're out there, it's like the audience kind of acts like an industry audience, even when it's like a regular vibe. They're kind of just like standing there like, it's like when I came to New York, I was like, oh yeah, it's lit. But I forgot it was like a all industry like thing, so I had to like acclimate to that like energy once I got in there. But it was really amazing to perform for y'all, man. I'm glad y'all opened up the opportunity for me.
That was super dope. I'm glad I got to go. Shout out to Chris for inviting me, because
Appreciate
that was fire.
It was really cool.
So, okay, I also saw you got to attend the White House for the Recording Academy.
Yeah.
Super dope to see all the places that music can take you.
It's amazing.
Yeah, talk to me about that experience.
I was at Capitol Hill in a button-up, just like talking to
Not in a
senators. It was insane. Like, we were advocating on behalf of this bill that was kind of fighting for rights with AI in music, because it's going to be pretty easy for people to kind of just, swipe your entire swag with, the state of technology being where it's at. We got some work to do. We'll see if that ends up,
Are you
being
nervous
passed.
about it?
Yeah, I'm nervous
You
because
are?
I feel like most of the politicians and older people in the music industry are just like, let's burn it. But you can't burn this genie that's out of the bottle. Like, you gotta kind of acclimate to it. It's in the same way that like how Spotify came about and it was like, oh, the music industry's over, but it's not. You just gotta find a way to actually be fair to the artist, and create boundaries and parameters around this newfound tech. But I kind of feel like it's gonna take a long time to get there.
I think it's
I'm
definitely
hoping for the
gonna
best
take
though.
a long time.
Yeah.
Hell, I think Spotify and Apple is still taking them some time to be fair to the
They're
artists
figuring
when
it
comes
out. They're
to
figuring it
too,
out.
so.
But that's not just Spotify and Apple. We also got to talk to the board members at Universal and Sony as well.
I don't even want to go down
all
this.
they all got a little bread in that.
Yo,
you know what I'm saying?
I don't want no problems with nobody, so I'm gonna pivot.
Yeah, no smoke, huh? No smoke.
I'm
I don't mind being vocal about that. Yeah, because it's two-sided.
I'm gonna pivot because I don't want no problems. All right, so I know you gave us a project. I know you're already Grammy nominated. Talk to me about what's going on in 2024. I know you just dropped a new single.
Yeah.
Dangerous Game.
Yeah.
With Esther.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that record.
That was an amazing song that just came about. I wrote it and recorded it in my living room, and my boy Esther sent it to me. I was like traveling around, but I didn't have my equipment with me, so I had like written the song like prior to recording it. So it was nice to finally be able to like finish it in my living room. Sent it to him. He really loved it. Just came out, and it's been cool to see the response. I was able to he had somebody else do a guitar solo on it, and I was like, you know what, I want to try one. He was like, you can really play like that? I'm like, yeah, I got it like that. So I went on there and I like did my thing, and it just really sounds dope. I mean, I see you got a pillow. No, is that a backpack of Prince? Yeah.
It's a bag.
Yeah, bag of Prince. Yeah. So like Prince is one of my favorite artists, ever to grace a mic.
That's why you be
and
like,
like
let me
Prince,
get my own
yeah,
solo.
like Prince used to go crazy with the solos on the record.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not as nice as Prince, but like one day, I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna practice. Keep going. Yeah.
Prince is a great one. That's why I wanted to know your entry point into music, because I remember on the interview with Tank, you said songs in the key of life for that one question. I was like, yo, how old is this? How old?
Yeah,
this is crazy.
I mean, I just got very classic taste.
Hey, you got good roots, man.
Got classic taste. Got classic taste.
I'm here for it. All right, so we are gonna play a game called Questions That Need Answers.
All right,
All you have to do is fill in the blank.
All right, bet.
All right, the older I get, the less I blink.
The older I get, the less I think.
The less you think.
Yeah, I think overthinking was a real problem for me earlier. I'm trying to feel more.
You said you're trying to feel more?
Yeah, because I think overthinking, I could like overthink my way out of a great song, overthink my way out of an amazing relationship. I think now I'm at a place where I'm just operating with a little less overthinking going on.
Good
So it's
for
like
you.
the less, less I think comes from that.
What do you think is helping you not overthink and just follow the feeling?
I'm just being more present, not to get too, I don't know, hippy dippy, but
No,
like,
do it. I'm here
being
for it.
being in the present moment is like a tough thing, like not worrying too much about the past or the future. Like just like really enjoying what's happening in the moment and focusing on that and using your gut to like kind of move forward, I think is a special thing.
It is. Not a lot of people even get to that peace of mind. Are you doing like meditation?
I'm not even gonna sit here and hold you like
Not
I'm like
there
sitting
yet.
here doing like 15 minutes of meditation
Okay.
a day. Nah, but I mean, I find my time.
Okay.
I find my time and I'm trying to carve more out,
Okay, understood. I can't believe I actually blinked when I was younger.
I can't believe I actually, when I was younger, okay. I can't believe I actually.
Either you was really bad or...
Yeah, I mean, I was such a goody two-shoes,
Okay.
but like bad behind the scenes. So I feel like I can't believe I actually, got away with certain things in certain relationships back in the day. You know what I'm saying? When I was younger, I felt like, I think now I'm a little bit more like present and like mindful.
You was sneaky.
I was sneaky. You know what I'm saying?
You was sneaky.
A little sneaky.
Leo men, okay? That's the men, not the women. All right. I'm a little embarrassed by the fact that I know so little about blank.
I'm a little embarrassed that I know so little about geography. I want to know more about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be able to like pinpoint any place on the map and be like, oh, that's da 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 da. I'm like really bad with that shit. Yeah.
Are you bad locally?
No, I'm more like globally.
Globally,
Yeah.
okay. No, I have.
I'm like bad, like
not to
really
throw
bad.
My
Yeah.
best friend under the bus, but I've lived in the same house for mad long, and she still needs directions. When I tell you she lives 10 minutes away.
Yeah.
Some people are just bad locally too, but.
Word. I can usually figure it out if I know the main streets.
Okay.
You know.
Globally makes sense. Yeah. Sometimes I look back at my life and blank.
Sometimes I look back at my life in awe. You know, I've been really blessed, and I feel like I've lived a couple different lives. So it's just a blessing to be as deep in this industry and in my career at this age.
Yeah, you definitely lived a couple different lives.
Yeah, for real.
But that's what's up. I feel like that's what it's about. You know, I was about to get cynical, so I'm gonna leave it.
Nah, that's true.
But from time to time, it's good to do blank.
From time to time, it's good to let go. You know, it's kind of going back to the overthinking thing. You know, I mean, not all the time, but I feel like letting go of like overthinking and just like overly worrying about certain things, I think is something I used to deal with. So that's just something I'm gonna hone in on.
All right. I made a complete fool of myself when I blinked.
I made a complete fool of myself when I was younger. I threw up on stage by accident. I had the stomach flu, and I was like, you know, I can still do the show. It was on Broadway too. It was bad. Yeah. Straight like barfed on stage. Yeah, that was like bad. I should have just called out. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It was like, and it was during a scene where like there was a stampede in The Lion King. I was playing young Simba. There's a stampede, so there's like a guy on stilts, like dodging. Nuts, man.
Yo, that is crazy.
That was bad. That was actually horrible.
That is horrible. Damn. How old were you?
I was like 10, you know, just like thinking I could really hold it down. But
Lord have mercy. You know what? Says a lot about your work ethic, but my goodness.
Yeah. We could have called out sick that day.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Could have worked out.
Message to the people, call out sick. It's okay.
Yeah, just call out sick. It's all good. I mean, get that understudy some time. You know what I'm saying? Let that man vibe.
All right, last one is my personality trait is blank.
My personality trait is chill. It's just a fact. I'm very relaxed.
Okay.
You know, low key. I can turn up too, but I'm very relaxed.
Yeah, I feel like I definitely get low key from you. Yes.
Yeah, I'm a low key dude. You know, I'm just chilling.
Even at the concert, you just popped up, made magic, disappeared.
Yeah, for real.
like went up there, gave us a hell of a show, and it was like that was it.
Yeah, where'd he go?
That was it. But I really fuck with your music, and I love the vibe. I like the audience that it brings too. You know what I'm saying? Everything carries energy, so
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yours is definitely great.
And they told me I had 30 minutes, so you know I stay right on the dot. You know.
Oh, did they really say?
Yeah, they said I had 30, so I was like, man, I wanted to do 45. I had about 45 for y'all, but
yeah. That's what it is. No, that shit was dope. And your band, those are like your boys you grew up with, or
actually, me and Chris, we've been working together since I was like 17, 18, but it was like off and on. I mean, he plays with amazing artists like Robin Thicke, and you know he works with this band called 1500 and Nothing, and they play for Nipsey, Jay-Z, like everybody. Yeah. So he's busy, booked and busy, but it's nice to be able to vibe with him when I can.
Lock in. Yeah, you guys make magic, so I hope to see more of that. And what's coming? What's coming?
So I got a new album coming out. It's called Mutt, and I'm really excited about it. I worked very hard on it with a lot of really close friends of mine.
It's called Mutt?
Mutt, like a dog,
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand the concept behind Mutt.
I got you.
Okay.
It's really just genuinely about control. You know, I feel like for me, when I first got my dog, it was interesting, like, having to figure out how to get this motherfucker to sit, to really, like, follow rules. And I feel like most girls, when they're in a relationship with, a guy who's making a lot of money or is, like, really focused on his career, it's trying to get him to sit. You know, when are we going to settle down? When are we going to figure this out, you know? Yeah. And that whole storyline is, like, the through line of this whole album. And Mutt is just a metaphor for, a girl trying to get a guy to sit.
Interesting.
Sit down. Yeah.
Interesting parallel between the dog and the relationship.
Yeah.
I will say, when I got my dog, it definitely made me view human interactions differently.
Yeah.
It's like we're similar, but we're so different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
When I see my dog in heat, I'm like, damn. So this is really just
right. There's also that too. There's that too. There's like so many different aspects of it, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, my dog's a mutt, and when I was doing the album, I was definitely very introspective at the house, just trying to figure out like what I was gonna call this body of work. But when I was like looking at him just running around, he kind of really reminded me a lot of myself, you know. In a way.
Well, you have a guide dog.
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
I do.
okay.
I do have a guide dog, you know. Like his face and like just kind of how he acts. Sometimes he does things and it's like, you know, he knows better, but he's so cute, man. You kind of forgive him. So I was like, you know what? Let me like figure it out. I feel like this would be a cool title for the album.
So men are really dogs.
Something like it. It was my first time like really seeing that, you know, like it's my first ever dog, you know. So I'm seeing that parallel in real life. I'm like, wow, this is probably how these girls be feeling with me. Man.
So
like,
now that you're a dog dad, do you have any obsessions like for your dog? I know some people become like obsessed with different TikTok pages where the dog voiceovers and shit like that.
Nah, you know what it is? You know, I feel like me and my dog, we're really good friends.
Okay.
You know, we hang out a lot. But I think the thing I'm most obsessed with is just his growth. You know, I love to see that, you know, he's becoming more comfortable around strangers and new people. And it took him a while to kind of get to that place. Yeah, you know, he's getting a lot better.
Okay,
he's getting a lot better. But yeah, like we're like 2 trainers in. We're trying to figure this out.
2 trainers in?
2 trainers, man. This guy was tough.
What type of dog is it?
He's a German Shepherd Husky mix, so he's like really smart.
Oh, hell no.
He's smart. He's like looking at the trainers like, no, you can't do algebra. Like,
you need a great trainer.
He's really smart. I'm like, man, and very manipulative too, you know. So you gotta like really, you gotta watch, bro. You gotta watch, bro.
Nah, it's funny because these dogs really have human personalities.
Yeah. He loves the ladies, man. Loves the ladies.
That's what's up. Yeah. Oh, I love that. All right, so why you didn't take the time to just try to do it yourself? He wasn't listening to you?
Well, time is the main thing. I've been running, you know, like, I mean, even just these last couple of weeks, I've been like, you know, a couple different states and in and out of the state that I live in, you know, LA. So it's just kind of tough to be there and to spend the amount of time I need to like really genuinely do it all myself. But I'm trying.
I thought you were trying yourself and it just wasn't going.
It was also that too. It was also that too. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? It's my first ever dog. I'm not a known dog trainer, so you know, it took a bunch of YouTube tutorials, but we got there. He's doing
Shout out to YouTube Academy.
Yeah, he's doing all right.
Well, I'm looking forward to the new project, Mutt.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have to have you back once it drops.
Nah, for sure. About it. We got some of my favorite artists on there. It's gonna be lit.
Who?
I got A$AP Rocky, you know, Ty Dolla $ign. You know, I got Baby Rose. It's really dope. Wale.
Oh my God, yes.
It's gonna be a really, really, really amazing project. Madlib produced a couple joints on there.
Fire.
So, yeah, it's gonna be a vibe.
Wait, I know that joint with Wale is gonna be beautiful. What?
It actually is. It was produced by my boy Conductor, and it's really special, very introspective. I love it.
Can't wait to hear that. And then Baby Rose, beautiful voice.
Yeah,
great
phenomenal.
taste. You and Ty, dynamic duo. Can never lose with that one. This is gonna be good.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And then visuals.
I'm working with Haji from Og.
Yeah.
He's really talented, man. One of my favorite directors. So it's cool to work with a bunch of creatives that I'm a fan of on this, you know? So it's like a genuine collaboration. And I feel like I'm giving everybody who's involved the room to be creative. And
trippy.
You know, it's a good vibe.
His stuff be trippy.
Oh, it's definitely very trippy.
Yeah.
Very trippy, very trippy. Yeah.
I'm here for it. I can't wait to see it. Thank you for tapping in with me.
Oh, thanks for having me, for real.
Yeah, no problem. Shout out your gram. Let everybody know where they can follow you.
Yeah, that's real. At Leon Thomas. You search my name, you're gonna find me on every social media site.
Yeah. He's outside.
Yeah.
Until next time, guys. Talk soon. Peace.
Peace.